It all starts with the crashing sound of the thunderbolt, and we see a guy smiling like a demon, and a knight who was standing in front of him. The knight says, "Still pretty stubborn, looks like I haven't beaten you enough." After that, Demon King replies to him, "No matter what, you have been caught by me, did you forget?" Knight replies, "Yeah, I still remember, what are you going to do?" Demon King gets scared and says, "I might not be able to move right now, but it's only my legs that have been wrapped. I had a chance of winning, but..." Then the knight interrupts him and says, "But Demon King, it is your end." After that, he starts to run toward Demon King to kill him with his holy sword, but suddenly his sword gets broken. Then he sees his broken sword and says to himself, "Calm down and think. It's a pity that I couldn't take the Demon King's head, but the Crown Princess curse has been lifted, which means my mission is over. I'll why the holy priest for breaking the holy sword. In return for breaking the curse, the holy sword was weakened. It's not my fault." Meanwhile, the Demon King shouts, "My name is..." But suddenly Holy Knight interrupts him and says, Yeah, your name was too long, so I have forgotten it already. Let's not waste time. You can either face death or run. We can't just stay here forever and waste time staring at each other." After listening, the Demon King gets angry and says, "This says of the goddess. I lack strength. I admit defeat, but I simply cannot forgive." Then the Holy Knight again interrupts him and says, "Why are you talking like that?" After that, Demon King says in frustration, "Can you not interrupt? As a Holy Knight, have you not heard of manners?" Then the Holy Knight replies, "I'm about to kill you, so why should I show you manners?" The Demon King gets angry and says, "I will make you regret that. Although I cannot damage your body, I can ruin your soul." And he starts spelling some spells. He says, "It will probably take me 100 years to recover my mana after using this spell. But don't you forget, as a Demon King, I get plenty of sacrifices." After listening to Demon King, he says, "Bastard. The slave law was abolished ages ago, and yet there are still sacrifices. What kind of era is this?" The Demon King ignores him and says, "Within one of them was a weak girl. I plan to insert her soul, the blade of the goddess, into your body." Suddenly the boom sound comes and the knight throws the broken sword towards him and says, "Repeat that." Demon King replies to him that you are a foolish human. After listening to him, Knight says, "You are the idiot trying to mess with other people's souls, and let you dare to call me foolish." Demon King points his finger towards him and says, "Always. I plan to switch that girl's soul with yours. As a holy knight, even you probably wouldn't be able to use half of your power when trapped within a weak girl's body. For the peace of the demon world, I'm willing to sacrifice anything." After that, he opens his eyes and sees that his hands became so small and white, and he sees himself in the mirror as he is reincarnated into a pretty girl. After looking himself, he gets into thinking. Meanwhile, a sound comes from behind. "You are awake, mistress." He thinks, "Wow, this is the first time someone had called me that." After he sees that she is so small and says, "That damn Demon King, did he succeed? That means my body contains the girl's soul. This is bad. I'm worried about her safety. I have to contact the Holy Church and send out a rescue team. But before that, I must let everyone know that I'm here. I guess I'll have to make a trip to the Holy Church." After thinking all that, he asks the maid how long I have been in a coma. The maid replied, "A week ago. A week ago you suddenly collapsed. That long?" And asks her, "Has anything special happened during that time?" She says, "You just woke up, so I'm not sure if I should tell you this. The Holy Knight role passed away." After listening to that, he thinks that damned Demon King, as if switching my souls wasn't enough, he didn't even let my body go, and killed me in the end. Damn it. But luckily, this girl's soul has been saved. Otherwise, she would have fallen into the Demon King's hand, because she swapped souls with me. The contract was broken, so she can return to the goddess's embrace. But why would such a young girl with her maids sign a soul contract with the Demon King? Meanwhile, the maid starts crying and says it must be a big shock to you. After hearing her, he gets into thinking again that why she is crying. This girl should have no connections with me, right? I felt shocked after hearing my death. But I'm an orphan, so she couldn't have been someone related to me. Again, she says, "Didn't you like Roll-sama a lot?" He thinks that so she was one of my fans. He says, "Don't look at me like that. I am loved by a lot of girls because I'm handsome, have a good personality, and possess great abilities. I became the captain of the Holy Knight at the age of 20, and I was titled the Gifted Knight. Though I'm a woman, due to the Holy Knight being unable to marry, I just needed to look like a cool dude." After that, he asks the maid, "Can you be a little bit more specific?" She says, "Half a month ago, because the Demon King cursed the Crown Prince, the Holy Knight Brigade an expression to persuade the demons. Up until we reached the Demon King's castle, I was always with my Holy Knight friends. But the others didn't have enough energy, so only I could pass through the castle's barrier. But in the end, the holy sword was broken in half pieces. Luckily, the Crown Prince curse was lifted." After listening to that, he says that's great and thinks after casting the curse of the Demon King lost most of his power, so the barrier should have disappeared along with him. The maid gets into thinking that what she is thinking, "I have noticed from Mistress seems different." He thinks and says in his mind that the soul that in this body has changed. "I can't just tell them I'm the Holy Knight's captain that passed away." And he thinks to pretend that he lost his memory. He asks the maid, "What was my name?" Maid replies, "Your name is Selah Etheria. You are the early daughter. You are 19 this year." The maid asks that you don't recall anything. Hey, replies to the say again. I asked you because I lost my memories. Otherwise, why would I lie to you? The maid asks, Miss, are you trying to use Amencia as an excuse to get out of the mansion? We can treat you in a temple where there is only a female priest. Then madam and fiancé can't do anything to you. He thinks looks like this girl's life isn't easy either. What's wrong with my mother? The maid shows the picture of the girl's mother and says this is her mother. Because the young master is too young, she thinks of you as an eavesdropper. He asks her what about my father? She replies ever since you were born. He disliked you ever since then. Roll thinks that looks like the one that signed the soul contract must have been the Earl with Price being his first child. I guess I will have to delay the trip to the Holy Church. Right now the important mission is to pretend go be the Earl's daughter and find out more about the contract. What will gonna happen next? Did he will gonna find out about the contract or not? To find out, do like, comment, and subscribe.